What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are back with one of our favorite YouTubers, Mr. Edinger. American M&M's lied about this for 5 years. What was y'all lying about? Before we jump in and figure it out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You'll subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Human. I talk back. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got, Evan?
This right here is your standard UK packet of M&Ms. It's pretty small, isn't it? Well, if you look at the ingredients in the back, it'll tell you everything that went in to making this candy the way it is. Now, of course, the standard things are gonna be here, such as milk chocolate, lactose, sugar, such as that. But there's one thing surprisingly absent on this candy that the American counterpart has quite a lot of, and that, of course, is artificial food dyes. But it's not like the UK M&Ms don't have any colors at all. It's just that they're using natural food dyes, which you would know about if you've seen my video I made a couple weeks ago on foods in the US that are banned around the world. So you've got the E100, the E133, the E160 A&E, which the European Food and Safety Association have assured us will not put us in the A&E. As I mentioned in my previous video, in 2006, a study revealed that there was a 100% link between the extra hyperactivity in children and these artificial food dyes. So in the UK, people got angry, the government listened, protected the people by placing a ban on these artificial food dyes so that if you do sell them in the UK, you do have to have a warning label so people are more informed about the health of the things they're going to be consuming, especially if they're given to children. Now in the US, things went a little bit different. You see, they also had quite a big public outcry, but the US's Food and Drug Administration basically went, let's leave it up to the companies to decide what's healthy and what's not. But the good news is the
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
public outcry in the States was so strong that Mars Corporation, the company behind the M&M and many other confectionery sweets in the States, listened to the people, and in 2016 they made a big announcement that they will be removing all artificial dyes from their entire range of sweets in the States and replacing them with the natural food dyes that they use in the United Kingdom and basically everywhere else in the world.
Wow.
So the official Mars announcement in 2016 says, though many of the company's products are already free of artificial colors, which is a bit of a weird flex because that's not what we're worried about. We're worried about the ones that have artificial colors. It's like saying, hey guys, 90% of our food doesn't have asbestos in it. Okay, we're worried about the 10%, you know? By expanding the scope of the effort to its entire human food portfolio, okay, something a real human wrote there, interesting. Mars is making a commitment of significant depth and breadth. Oh yes, absolutely. Products across the range of the company's chocolate, gum, confection, food, and drink businesses will be affected by the change, which will take place incrementally over the next 5 years. And American consumers were rightfully overjoyed. It's really not every day that we actually win a battle against corporations. In fact, it's pretty much never. So everyone was really, really happy. The year's 2016, Mars says within 5 years, all their products will finally no longer have this food additive that has been directly linked to having a negative impact on children, and even the FDA themselves have stated that it may cause hives and itching. Cool, let's remove that and replace it with the thing that you have in all the other products around the world. Oh, it's this type of video, isn't it? Well, yes, it's now 2023 by the time I'm uploading this one. That's 7 years after. So what came of their depth and breadth to make this commitment to remove the artificial...
I'm guessing it was an empty promise, Evan. I'm guessing it was definitely an empty promise just to get people off of their back.
Food dyes from all of their products? Well, in 2021, I wouldn't really say that they slipped a bit as much as just kind of went, nah, never mind. Took a lot of breath to do that. So deep. And so in 2021, a full 5 years after their original promise, Mars comes out with a statement which essentially boils down to, well, we've removed the artificial colors from Twix. You know, everyone's favorite brightly colored snack of ours. What are they using? Artificial brown? I don't think this was ever anything that anyone was thinking about. It'd be like if everyone was really upset about Nestle constantly stealing water from developing nations, and so they came out with a statement saying, hello, everybody, just so you know, we stopped removing water from the Sahara Desert. And you're like, don't think you were actually doing that originally, but okay. The company said specifically that the majority of US consumers appreciate the current vibrant palette used in their favorite treats, so Mars will not remove all artificial colors from their entire portfolio. Or basically, gotcha. Mars played an absolute Chad move. The US public was angry about the food dyes, and so Mars goes, listen, we promise. You'll forget about it in 5 years.
Yeah,
you see, we here at the Mars.
That's it. And you know, in life, like, the company was like, things will happen. This will be a thing of the past. They won't even be worried about it. And what happened? That's exactly what happens in life. other things pop up that people get upset about. People forget all about that. Now it's like, well, and then they came in to come in when nobody's paying attention anymore. Nobody's looking at them or any complaints anymore. It's like, all right, we're not gonna remove the dyes. We tried. We're not gonna do it. And ain't nobody saying that because we done forgot about it. We done forgot. That's right.
Goes, listen, we promise.
You'll
Forget about it in 5 years. You see, we here at the Mars Corporation have performed some studies and found that the average American consumer is pretty much as dumb as a baby, a small child, or some species of bird. You see, they just like brightly colored things. And so if we remove these possibly harmful chemicals from our foods, well, it might be possibly harmful to our bottom line, the profit margins. And so we're just gonna leave it as is. Fuck you. It's pretty much idiocracy at this point. And so that's it. Another sad story in the long list of American corporations that put their profits above the health of their consumers. If only we had some sort of governmental agency that were able to look over companies and protect the consumer at the end of the day. Well, funny you should ask. We do, but it seems like certain companies actually pay that group quite a lot of money every year. Let's talk about it. All right, so the American overseeing...
We already know. We already know the FD. I mean, you can, in America, money is king. Money is over everything. Well, if you got enough money, you can make anything happen or not happen. Simple as that. You just got to pay the right people. We already know.
Pay that group quite a lot of money every year. Let's talk about it. All right, so the American overseeing agency that's supposed to keep us safe isn't actually doing its job. Well, what do Americans do best when they can't do anything else? They sue. So in 2022, a consumer sued the Mars Corporation, especially after the European group, the EFSA, found that titanium dioxide, or E171, was also a harmful food additive that we should not have in foods. And so this consumer sued Mars, saying, one, you shouldn't have any of these artificial food dyes inside this food, especially considering you did promise to remove them, and two, even if you do have them, we should have some sort of warning label because it's hard enough to see what's in there to see what is dangerous and what is not. And yet again, Mars Corporation, absolute Chad move, went, hey, everything we put into our food is FDA approved.
Of course.
Isn't that interesting? It fully complies with FDA guidelines, bruh. Deal with it. It's like Mars is essentially putting unsafe items in your food and then bribing US rule makers to make it so that's okay. And then they go, listen, the people we paid to make the rules said this is okay, so enjoy your brightly colored snacks. If only there was a way of figuring out what corporations were bribing Congress to do. Luckily for us, there is. Did you know, in 2022 alone, the Mars Corporation lobbied Congress for 12 different bills. Let's go have a look-see on the surface and see quite a few of them and see what Mars is trying to get us to do. So, first off, we've got, did you know that Mars lobbied the US Congress for pet food exports to China? Wow, that's worth at least a couple $100,000, right? Gotta make sure Hainan's got that fancy feast. How much was all this together again? $430,000. Okay, what else do we got? Oh, that's spicy. Well, they just spent a lot of money lobbying against the Inflation Reduction Act. Listen, I know you guys might be having a really rough time with the cost of living crisis. Inflation must be really bad for you.
It is.
But it turns out Mars doesn't like that act because it would affect their corporate income tax rates and asset sales. So $430,000 seems like a pretty good price to pay to make sure the Inflation Reduction Act doesn't pass. Listen, I know you can't afford to put the heating on, but we want to make sure that the tax rates for our brightly colored snacks that might give your child attention disorders, well, we want to make sure we can make a little bit more extra money.
That's crazy because the cost of living, oh my God, it's ridiculous. And it just goes up and up and up. And it's like, bro, when is it going to drop? Like, at this rate, it's hard to keep up with it. It's so hard to keep up at this rate. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Tax that might give your child attention disorders, well, we want to make sure we can make a little bit more extra money. Just a little bit. You could say just the same size as an M&M, maybe. The M&M in M&M stands for money and more money. And then finally, the piece de resistance. Mars spent $350,000 lobbying the US Food and Drug Administration themselves. Ooh, what exactly did they want? Well, it turns out they made some comments to the White House on Americans' dietary guidelines, especially for children's nutrition. Yes,
of course.
I love it when my giant candy conglomerate tells me about children's nutrition and helps advise policy. It'd be like if Joe Camel lobbied Congress and the FDA and went, listen, the brightly colored cigarettes that we've been advertising to children are part of your balanced breakfast, guys. Is that all? Is that all? Oh no, they also wanted to work with the FDA to change the definition of the word healthy. You gotta love it. Listen, in our opinion, here's $350,000. We think at the Mars Corporation that healthy is about 10 packs of M&Ms a day. You gotta get you 5 a day. I heard the red ones got a little bit of apple flavoring, make you a little go, wow. And the apples are plenty of time today. Please make sure to eat more M&Ms. And this was just a fun-sized sample of the amount of bills that Mars was attempting to lobby Congress for in 2022 alone. I can assure you that there's a lot more depth and breadth to the amount of money that Mars is willing to pay our lawmakers to change the rules in their favor and against our own health. But like I said, I heard the red M&Ms are part of your 5 a day now, so it's a lot easier to eat healthy. Well, at least in the US. In the UK, I have to eat apples, and that's kind of lame. But I know there's some of you out there that are munching on your US M&Ms right now. Your attention's all over the place. You're like, Evan, I couldn't even focus on this video. I was doing other things, and I checked out your website, and is that John C. Reilly? Did you take that photo? Actually, I did. Thank you. I've been updating my portfolio on the website I made with today's video sponsor, Squarespace. What a segue. Squarespace, of course, being the all-in-one website builder that I use to make my website, evanedinger.com. I made myself an easy-to-see blog using one of their sponsoring, but let's wrap this up. I do think Americans should be rightfully afraid of just how much corporation money contributes to the laws that are meant to be protecting them and their children. You just know if this sort of thing happened in France, the M&M factory would be smoldering. A lot of liquid chocolate. Chocolat, as they say. You could always vote with your wallet, but I don't really find that much of an adequate solution because I myself never would buy anything from the company anyway. I'm not really into sweets. I literally only bought M&Ms for the first time in my life today to make this video. But if companies don't have your best interests at heart and the US governmental watchdog that's supposed to be protecting you isn't doing its job, I feel like knowledge is the best tool you can really have. And that's why I've linked the opensecrets.org website in my description. There you'll find all of the companies that love lobbying the Congress every single bill. So that if maybe you just want to see, what has this company done recently in Congress? You can just see how much they've spent, which they legally have to say, and why they did it. It's kind of good to know. You might be surprised at what you find. Sadly, lobbying is just a pivotal part of the US political system, for now. But I'll be doing a big research video on that topic in the coming days, so be sure to subscribe to not miss that in your feed. In the meantime, I have made a video already on US food that the rest of the world has banned, if you'd like to watch that. Otherwise, the vice versa of that is coming next week, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you next Sunday. Goodbye.
That's crazy, bro. And it's like, it shouldn't be surprised because this is America. This is what happens in America. It's unfortunate, but that's all we got for this. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon are all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.